Hi, my name is Natasha Swift, and this is my journey. I grew up in a non-religious family, but in my early teens, a deep yearning to know who I am and why I am here came over me. I started to anxiously seek for a higher power and authentic spirituality, one that would weave into every aspect of my daily life and relationships. Because of my preconceived notions of Christianity, I never considered it an option. Instead, I traveled the world and turned over every stone in my search: Buddhism, the yogic practices of Hinduism, New Age metaphysics, shamanism, African cosmology, and sacred geometry. So in my 30s, I married Chris. But a year into our marriage, I got into my head that marriage was hindering me on my spiritual search. We separated until I realized marriage is precisely where spiritual growth is forged. Chris graciously welcomed me back, and together we began the work of strengthening our union. The arrival of our first child, however, gave way to further anger and resentment in our marriage. At this time, we just happened to meet and hit it off with our new neighbors. Chris and I unanimously decided to visit their newly started church. What a surprise! That first Sunday, everything felt familiar, comfortable, like home. It was as though God was speaking to me through the message. What really impacted me was this idea of grace. Because of Jesus' perfect life and sacrificial death, there is nothing I can do to make God love me more or less. His love was given, a gift of grace. God was inviting me to come as I am. After many months of exploration, I surrendered to Jesus on the Alpha course. Later, I was baptized. In all my spiritual searching, it had never occurred to me that reading the Bible or going to church could connect me to God. But how wrong was I? And wow, things have changed. I started to feel the presence and love of God palpably. Also, feelings of shame have been washed away. I feel lighter, I feel accepted, I feel forgiven. And free of the shame, I can now open my life up to God and to others with a far greater capacity to love and be loved. My marriage is healed too. I realized I couldn't do marriage alone, so I handed it over to God in prayer. And He stepped in, washing away my anger, giving me the love to see my husband and to stand with him in full support. My eyes have been opened. Before, I was trying to understand in order to believe. Now I believe, and as a result, I understand. God continues to reveal more of Himself to me and to change me little by little from the inside out to be more like Him. There's so much joy and peace now. For decades, I anxiously searched for God, but all along He was searching for me, drawing me closer to Him. The futile search has given way to the thrill and the peace of having been found.